Why is it that a lot of Nigerians do not appreciate their soldiers? This young man lost his leg while he was fighting with Boko-Haram in Maiduguri. He joined the Nigerian military in 2019, and in 2020 he had already lost his leg. This is not a real leg. This is an artificial leg. And today he wants to share his story to the world because he wants people to understand what soldiers go through that a lot of Nigerians do not know about. This is his story.
The first time I visited my home after I was injured, my dad was crying. He was crying. I was laughing at him. Said, "Dad, you are crying. Why not you thank God I'm alive?" People don't really understand the force of the Boko-Haram terrorists. When you see the Boko-Haram coming for attack in a location, you see like more than almost 200 individuals, all with a personal rifle, which is the one that can fire from 1,000 meters and above. I said that if soldier should go strike for just a day, you see people will be knocking at your door with what you don't have, and you'll be giving what you have, as in even begging. Why giving what you have? Then you should understand the sacrifices that we pay, the things we do to maintain peace and unity is what our citizens, they need to understand.
A lot of Nigerians do not appreciate their soldiers, yet you lost your leg while fighting for this country. Can you tell the viewers your story?
Yes, I lost my leg while bravely combating the Boko-Haram terrorists in Northeast in Maiduguri, in a place called Ambua. So it is not bad thing to protect my country and to serve the country, because it was my passion to serve the country. But it was unfortunate that in a one-year interval after I joined the military, I lost my leg while fighting the Boko-Haram terrorists. Although I joined the military in 2019, yes, and this happened to me. I lost my leg in November 2020, 18th of November 2020. So it is not an easy task. It is not a jumbo. It is not a play fighting the Boko-Haram terrorists, because people don't really understand the force of the Boko-Haram terrorists, how big or equipment that they have when we talk about fighting the Boko-Haram terrorists. So when we talk about the Boko-Haram, they are terrorists that have all it takes to fight a war. Even some of the equipment that we don't have, they have it. You see, so even the tank that is being used to fight a war, even a conventional war, they have it. The weapons, they have it. In terms of manpower, they have it. When you see the Boko Haram coming for attack in a location, you see like more than 100 gun trucks, more than almost 200 individuals, all with a personal rifle and with support weapon, which is the one that can fire from 1,000 meters and above. So fighting the Boko Haram terrorists is not an easy task. Although after my POP parade in 2019, then I was moved for special force training because I'm a special force. And after that, we were moved to Maiduguri to fight the Boko Haram terrorists. So but it was November 18th in a place called Ambua, Wajiroko, Boko Haram's hideout. On our mission to capture the Boko Haram terrorists in the hideout called Wajiroko. So we come in contact with the Boko Haram terrorists. And as the fight was going on, I was fired with AA, which is a weapon used for the aircraft, AA, anti-aircraft. So that was the weapon that the Boko Haram fired my leg, and he get the leg amputated immediately. So imagining how it used to be and how it was, because I can't say everything, but what was going on then to the extent that I was fired. So you see how, as in, it is not something that I can even explain to you, but it was very tough. So even when I was fired, I couldn't notice. It was when I turned, I just had a sound on my leg. And immediately I turned and I take a look at my leg. I saw that the leg had been fired. It is not as if I'm standing. I was in a lying position as a trained soldier while doing what I'm trying to do. And I had a sound. So it is not an easy. It wasn't easy for me because it wasn't it wasn't what I wished for myself to lose the leg. But that's the consequences of being a military personnel. You see, so sometimes our citizens, they don't understand, they don't see the value in the military. They don't know what we pass through to protect the country. They don't know what we pass through to make sure there is peace and unity in our country. Sometimes our citizens feel as if we're not fighting for them, it doesn't concern them. But they forget that if we don't wage the war and fight the war over there in Maiduguri, they can extend their locations, because Boko Haram terrorists, they're not after making peace. They're not after to surrender. They're in there for the war. It's not as if they're not losing their people, but they don't care. They don't value the life. They feel as if when they kill is when, as in, they draw closer to God. So they do it with passion, as in with passion, with full courage. They even give their life along the way while fighting. They're not afraid of being killed. They're not afraid of death. But anytime they come for location, before you see them turn back, that means that, as in, the force is too much. Is too much on them. So Boko Haram terrorist is as in, is something that is not an easy task.
You see that when these people want to attack, that they're moving crowds of hundreds, 200.
Sometimes in talking about their crowd, sometimes they're more even bigger than we. In terms of number, that is manpower. We won't talk about the manpower, how plenty they are while coming to an attack. Sometimes it's bigger than a whole camp. And each and every one of them have personal rifle and support weapon, which is the weapon that can fire from 1,000 meters and above. So the Boko Haram, fighting the Boko Haram terrorists is like intercontinental land war, where you see the country with the massive of their soldiers. So Boko Haram, they come in massive. Sometimes they even reach like 300 and above. So, and they possessed all the kind of weapons that the military possessed. So, which we don't know how it come about. And their number, even if we should divide the Maiduguri youths in three parts, you see that there are even more. Boko Haram terrorists, there are even more. So, which means that they are from different angle of the country, even as in a different angle of the country, not just our country here. So fighting the Boko Haram terrorists is really tough, honestly, because when you talk about war, you can only overcome the terrorists maybe if you have a better weapon that they do, or you people are bigger and massive compared to them. You see, so that is when you talk about overcoming the terrorists. But when you see that maybe the terrorists are even plenty than the military are in a camp, if they are more massive, as in their number, they are more plenty compared to the camp they want to attack, it will become difficult for the camp to overcome it and defend them, because they possesses all that they have and they are massive.
So this is what Nigerian military soldiers are dealing with,
honestly.
So what happened when you were shot? When it started going through your mind? Were you scared you might lose your life?
Immediately I was shot. Although I was even surprised how I get shot, because if I'm to check in my position, the way I position where the fight was going on, I was not expecting that bullet, because a bullet is something that when you fire, it goes up. It is during the landing, it will now come down. So I was lying down. I was lying straight, as if facing the front. I just had a stand. So immediately the thing happened, I turned and I see that I saw my leg, that the leg had been fired. And when I take a look on the leg, I see that the leg had been cut off. So the thing holding my leg was just the flesh. The bone itself, the bone have already been out of the leg. So I was trying to take a cover. I was trying to crawl to the nearest cover again. Then the leg was hanging. My leg was hanging on the grass, because the place is a chuku area, those kind of chuku area. So it was my colleague that helped me to tie the tourniquet on the leg. So after some minutes, my eyes keep on going down, as if my eye want to close. So I was trying to force myself to open my eyes, but it was not really easy for me. So while that was going on, I said that I will not die. I will not die. I was praying in my heart, say I will not die. This is not my time to die. So before I was evacuated from that place to our camp in Damboa. So it was when I was evacuated to the camp, then they fixed the drip on my hand. So I started getting myself a little bit. Before then, now call a helicopter to take me to our military hospital in Memare Barras, inside Maiduguri town. So being in the Maiduguri, even from our movements, because Maiduguri town is far from those locations like Dambuwa, Blabiri and other places. So when we want to move, we don't just move like that, because it is a war zone. Anything that makes you to step out from Maiduguri town, any other step you take is a war step. So we can't even move like casual, like the way people move. When we are moving, the road is being scanned because there is EID. The road is being scanned because Boko Haram, they normally plant mines along the roadside, and most of the roadside is having potholes. It's not like a normal tight road. So it usually takes us like 4 to 5 hours to move from Maiduguri town to Dambuwa, where our location is. So our movement normally step by step while scamming the road because they normally mount ambush and also mice. Sometimes if you don't come encounter ambush, then you come encounter mice. So being in Maiduguri is not an easy task. It's not like normal places in our country here in Nigeria. So it is as if say it is another country entirely, another place entirely, that a serious war is going on that nobody knows, but only the people fighting the war and also being in the location that knows what's happened.
Wow. So when you were at the hospital, the government was taking responsibility, right?
Yes, when I was in the hospital. So immediately we reached the hospital, I went off. I didn't recognize what was going on. So it was, I don't know if it was 2 days or more than before I get myself and see that the leg now that have extended the amputation, because if I'm to put prosthesis where I was fired, it can't work. So they have to extend the amputation. Then when the leg heals, now I can be able to use the prosthesis. So after I stayed there for like Maiduguri Memorial Hospital for like 3 weeks, I was moved to 44, our military hospital, where we are being taken care of whenever we are being fired. So all those times, Army is still taking care of me, treating me, and doing all they can do to support me and make sure that I survive.
Wow, this is really crazy. You know, we hear about all this in the news, but nobody really understands how bad the situation is. And I'm sure that there are colleagues of yours that have lost their life.
Yes, of course.
From that same battle.
Yes, of course. So we were 1,000. My battalion was like 1,000 that was moved to the northeast, which is Maiduguri. So, but when our changes come, we were like 700. Even that 700, some are still in the hospital bed. So we have lost many of my buddies, many of my colleagues due to the fight. So paying the highest price and ransom just to maintain peace and unity for the country.
You're still a soldier, right?
Yes, I'm still serving.
Okay. You still love your job?
Yes, I do. So even with the injury, I still love the work I do because it was my passion. It was not as if someone pushed me to join the military, but I decided to join the military. Even when I'm about joining the military, my parents, they warned me that yes, it is not an easy task being a military personnel. So that it's not an easy task. They won't see me the way they see me and some other things that involve. So, but I decided to do that because it was my passion.
Did your family not try to discourage you from going back to the army, considering that you've lost your leg from this experience?
They didn't discourage me. Instead, they allowed me with the army because I belong to the army. So it's not now that I'm being injured that I'm now run back to my parents to start taking care of me. Why that when I was with my two legs, I belong to the army. You see. So they didn't discourage me, but they feel the pain. The last time I visited the first time I visited my home after I was injured, my dad was crying. He was crying. I was laughing at him. Said, "Dad, you are crying. Why not you thank God I'm alive?" You see. So because I don't even feel as if the leg is lost. The most important thing is that I'm alive. You see, because I'm not alive today, I will not be able to see you talk less of sharing my story or to inspire other people. But it was because I'm alive. So I feel as if, yes, I remain strong because I'm trying to be strong. Even in the injury, I'm still strong.
That was really interesting. What is something you like to say to people, especially those that don't like soldiers? Some people just have this resentment towards soldiers, but they do not understand that without soldiers, tell them yourself. I don't want to be the one to say it.
Many people underestimate it. Yes, a lot of people, they don't really know what the soldiers pass through. But I said it that if soldiers should go strike for just a day, you see, people will be knocking at your door with what you don't have, and you'll be giving what you have, as in even begging while giving what you have. You see, so that is the rules that soldiers play. Even if no matter how the country that is terrorism, yes, but we are putting much effort to make sure that there is peace and maintain unity. So the sacrifices we pay is what people don't know, and that is what they need to know. Lost my leg while fighting the Boko-Haram terrorists. No, I didn't do that for myself. I did it for my nation. You see, so then you understand the sacrifices that we pay, the things we do to maintain peace and unity is what our citizens they need to understand. Then the country that are doing their best to support the wounded soldiers. So, but sometimes the citizens they don't really know what is happening, and they don't really offer any help to make sure that the wounded soldiers that are doing well and they're coping. For example, the prosthesis I'm putting like this today now is provided by the military, Nigeria Army. So this is the second prosthesis Nigeria Army have given to me. The first one, the security, my leg is bigger than it, and this one is more better than the first one that I got. And all these things is being done by the military. So that I'm being injured doesn't mean that Army will solve all my life problem. You see, for at least I'm being paid and I'm using a prosthesis. I can walk without 2 hand crutches. But when I pull off the prosthesis, I'll be using 2 hand crutches. So all these things now, Army, they're trying their best to make sure that at least we have the little that they can be able to provide for us, the fundamental, like the prosthesis, which is like replacing the leg that have been lost. So our citizens should start appreciating the soldiers, especially wounded ones. So then should always continue praying for our soldiers, because they are doing a lot of things. They are passing through a lot. Staying in the bush from here to there. Sometimes before you visit your family, your own family, it will take months. You see, so all those things is something that we do. It's a sacrifice. It's not as if we are being paid for it, but it's something we do because we are rendering a service to the nation. Mm-hmm. So hence we are here in Nigeria. Anybody that is a citizen of the country have to appreciate the wounded soldiers and the military, because we are doing a lot of work to make sure that there is peace.
May God continue to see you guys through. So what position are you occupying right now, since you can't function like you used to anymore?
Currently now, I'm the first African gold medalist at the Invictus Games. So after I was injured, then it was not an easy task, being losing my leg above knee amputation while bravely combating the Boko-Haram. So it affected me in different ways, which is mental, emotional, and the physical aspect of it. So it wasn't easy for me when I was in the hospital, in a 44 military hospital. I was thinking a lot, and I was going through a lot until I finally come in contact with the Invictus Games, which is meant for the wounded soldiers all over the world. And Nigeria was the first African country to come in place to join in the Invictus Games. So in 2023, after we have undergone a lot of training where we participated in the Invictus Games in Germany, I won the first African gold medalist. I became the first African gold medalist in the Invictus Games. So currently now, my field now is in sport. So I have been representing my country as a soldier. Currently now, I'm representing the country through sport, because there are other wounded soldiers from other different countries. We come together to share experience and also to play the games, you see. So, and I was lucky enough, and the team was lucky enough that I won the first African gold medal in the Invictus Games, making not just Nigeria, not just the armed forces, but Africa at large proud that the first time to participate, we were able to win a gold medal, and that even losing the left leg of my left leg have not come to an end of my life, but instead I've keep on pushing forward and keep on representing the country, which is the work I assigned to do.
Wow. Hope you guys can see for yourself what the soldiers go through every day. Their lives are not guaranteed, yet most of you joke with them on social media, and some of you don't just respect them even in real life. The only time you respect them is when you see them, we meet them on checkpoints, because they are with their rifle. And I feel like we should thank them for their service, okay? Because they decided to take a job that most of us were not courageous enough to do. and they are actually working for our own good, for our safety, for our country's safety. The fact that, of course, some of you just pray every day for your family, you pray for your properties, but even in your prayer, some of the instruments God uses to see that your prayer actually comes to reality, your children are safe, your properties, your farmlands, everything is safe. It's because of those people that chose to defend their country, their community, their society. And this man is just an example of some of the things that have happened to these soldiers that we don't get to hear about. And this is also shedding light on the effect of terrorism in Nigeria. A lot of people don't know how far this entity called Boko-Haram has gone. I personally do not understand it so much, so I would not want to speak about it. But this is a topic that have been on the lips of so many Nigerians for many years now, even more than a decade. Yet, it is still a threatening issue even up till now. And while we are having this interview, there are soldiers that are still combating this set of people even as we speak. So, I, for one, my greatest strength is in telling stories. I am not in the position to make decisions that would do, I really don't, I'm not in that position, but I hope that by bringing the stories to the feeds of Nigerians, that maybe people will begin to pay attention to the right things and people will begin to appreciate and show concern for what truly matters. With all that has happened to you, where do you see yourself in 5 years? Do you think you'll still be in the military?
Yes, I remain the soldier that I used to be. So since I have been injured, I've been in my recovering process. And finally, I'm now recovered. You see. So the trauma that I was feeling, the kind of thoughts that I have after I was injured have changed currently. Because then I was wondering how to cope with my life, how to solve my life problems, what to do to support my family, how to get married, all the life challenges. I was like considering all of them at a time, and that became a big problem to me. That was why the injury affected me mentally and emotionally. I was like being worried. Sometimes I feel shy to go out from the barracks because I don't know how people feel about me. Maybe who is this one with this one leg again? You see. So those things was like running into my memory. Like how even to go back to my village, I was ashamed going back to my village because I left the home. I left my village as in with my full 2 legs that I joined the military. But now coming back and they are hearing that he went for war and his leg had been cut off. You see, those things that I was like feeling bad over it then. But now I can even wear my short with my leg. I feel free. I even pose with it. Yes, you don't have the kind of leg I have. Okay, you're putting this, the type of leg you're putting on today now is your natural leg. I have one natural leg here, but you don't have this type I have now. You see, so I'm not proud of myself, and I now inspire other people, like other wounded soldiers in our military hospitals that is passing the same through trauma that I passed through then. So I now inspire them with my story. That even with the injury, we can still do other things. The games that I play now, like sitting volleyball, powerlifting, which I won the first African gold medal in the Vitus Games, and the sitting wheelchair rugby, and the wheelchair basketball. All those things, I have not participated in sports since ever in my life. So, but it was after I got injured, that is when I started participating in the games, and I started doing well, even with the injury. So, my advice to my fellow wounded soldiers is that we can overcome it. You see, yes, we will overcome it. So it's all about the mindset. Let's be positive. You get? Let's be positive. And apart from we being personnel, some other civilians, they have challenges, 1 or 2 different challenges. So whichever one that we are passing through, as the things is going on now, it will become a past tense tomorrow. As you are feeling the pain now, it will not be that same way it is tomorrow. So let's keep pushing. Let's keep pushing forward. And let's keep believing, and let's keep having faith that the situation we pass through, the problems we face now can never overcome us. But let's be strong enough to overcome our challenges in life.
You've spoken well, sir. Thank you very much. I appreciate you sharing your story, and I hope this gives the viewers an insight of what goes on in the Nigerian military. So when you see people putting on this uniform, respect them, because they are doing something that most of us are not courageous enough to do. We should respect them, thank them for their service, and try to make life easy for them, because some of these people are not even earning as much as you and I. So for every little chance that we get, we run into a soldier, let us be compassionate to those people, because they have a family like you and I. But unfortunately, their lives are no longer the same way it used to be anymore, because of one decision, the decision to serve and defend this country. Thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate. If you have questions, indicate in the comment section, and we might as well invite him again to talk about it. Thank you very much for watching. So, sir, I really appreciate sharing your story. I hope that the Holy Spirit comforts you. You're a Christian, right?
Yes.
And heals you of your pain, the trauma, and whatever it is you are dealing with. I hope that God meets you. And the fact that your family did not, because I was thinking that maybe after this incident, your family will even be scared and say, oh, no, maybe you should withdraw from the military. So it seems that their prayers are also with you, and they are hoping that this journey you've started, you are going to end it well.
Yes, sir.
So God is going to do great things in your life. Are you married?
I'm not yet married, but I'm into a relationship.
Okay. So it means you're still a very young man. God is going to perfect everything. And it's not easy. You know, one day we are going to have a session where we talk about this. I mean, how do the wives of military soldiers cope? How do the men even cope too, far away from their family all the time? How, we need to know these things. We need to document the stories. We need people to really understand this properly, not just on a safe surface level. And thank you very much for sharing. Is there something you'd like to talk about that we didn't talk about?
No.
Okay. Is there anything else you'd like to say?
Hi guys, thank you for watching this episode of the Lucky Udu Experience. Please, if you would like to assist anyone, please reach out to the number on the screen. We are the follow-up team of the Lucky Udu studio, and I am Bright.
I'm David.
I'm Latifa.
Veronica.
I'm Messi.
Our job as the follow-up team is to make sure that everyone who shares their story are not left unattended. My colleague will walk you through on how the follow-up team was created.
Let me walk you through the history of why we created the follow-up team. Over the years, we discovered that people reach out to our guests pretending to help them, while their sole aim is to take advantage of them. Because of this, we stopped putting out our guest phone number online to protect them from these predators.
We are seeing some situations where people receive support and do not use the money for what it's meant for. They stop replying to our messages and stop giving updates, leaving people that support wondering what happened. That makes it look like nothing was done, and effort of Lucky Udu Studio are not seen.
So the reason the follow-up team was created is simple. We want to track every story, know what support came in, and confirm it was used the right way. That is why we are seeking the cooperation of the public. Whether you are watching from Facebook, YouTube, or Instagram, or anywhere else, we need your support to make this work. Cooperating with the follow-up team helps you in many ways. It helps you know that your support is going to the right place. It also helps the world see that this platform is truly changing lives. At the end of the day, this is not just about telling stories. It is about changing lives.
We are calling out for sponsorship and partnership. Every day we interview different kinds of people with all kinds of stories. Among are those who need help with school, health, therapists, sponsors, justice, legal support, business training, or even someone just to talk to. We need partnership to grow this brand. We can do more and we can go further. But to do that, we need support from the right people. If you would like to be a partner or sponsor, kindly reach out through the email address on the screen, luckyudustudio@gmail.com. Once again, we are the follow-up team and we are doing our best to keep this platform impactful and transparent. Thank you for watching and thank you for being part of the Lucky Udu experience.
Bye!